So my name is Emma Manderville. I'm a junior here at Keene State as a public health major with a concentration in community health and population health and a minor in addictions. So since I'm away from everyone, I can take off my mask for a little bit since we're outdoors and spaced out. So this morning I woke up and I walked onto campus from my off-campus apartment. I had to walk all the way through campus with the fall foliage. It was great. And then I got to the Elliott Center, which is where I work at Office of Disability Services. So I work there at the front desk. I help proctor tests for students that have accommodations. I also help set up appointments and take new students for new student intakes. And anyone who works with there can have a range of disabilities qualifying from having a hearing aid to having anxiety or having learning disability. I love it because I get to work with a bunch of different people and I get to make sure that they're getting all the accommodations and supports that they need here at Keene State. So after work, then I came over here to the Student Center. Or actually I saw Jesse first at Aspire, so I worked with my advisor there. So he helps me since I'm a first generation student, and I also work with ODS. So he's just a great sounding board, and he helps me with mock interviews for jobs, help setting up internships, any advice for classes, things like that. So after I worked with him, then I came over here and got myself some food, and now I'm just sitting here at the Student Center. I'm a public health major with a concentration in community and population health, and then I have an addictions minor. So I chose the public health major because I found that it was the most broad option for anything in the health careers. I think I want to go into education, but I wanted to make sure that it was broad enough where I could still work in healthcare policy or things like administration if I wanted to. So this major gives me a really broad sense when I leave Keene State, and having the concentration helps me almost narrow in on the education aspect of it because it's community health, so it's kind of thinking of it as a whole, not individualistic. I think Keene State has done a fantastic job preparing me for my career. My advisor, who I work with in the public health department, Becky Dunn, she set me up with countless networking opportunities to meet people who are already health educators or professors who have taught here in the past, setting me up with meetings and being able to meet people in the field. I also think that just the general education that I've gotten here has been very specific, and because it's a smaller school, I've gotten to know my professors better, so I feel like I've learned more from them. It's very discussion based, so I think just having it all together cumulatively sets me up very well because I already know people working in the field, but I also feel like my classes are giving me a really good base level to adapt to any changes or any differences. So besides Public Health Club, I'm also involved in Mentors in Violence Prevention, which is MVP. So that's a peer education group mainly focused on promoting active bystander techniques in sexual assault and sexual violence. I also work with the Sexual Assault Violence Education Committee, which is a committee made of students, also folks from the Wellness Center, and then also our community partners from organizations like Monadnock Center for Violence Prevention. And I'm also part of the contact tracing rapid response team here at Keene State. So for COVID, because of all the connections I made at Public Health Club and my professors, I was asked to apply for that, so I help out with contact tracing. And I'm also on the committee for the public health education campaign for COVID. So all the COVID stuff. So the Public Health Club is a student organization. We have our two advisors, Dr. Janelle Boyer and then Tiffany Matthews, who works at the Wellness Center. We are an organization of students that basically strive to promote health in the community, both on campus and off campus. So I chose to attend Keene State because when I got here, it sounds cheesy like everyone else says, but I really felt like it was a good community. It felt like a very home vibe. I had a sibling who went to a much larger school, and I think the smaller school really appealed to me because I felt like I could have a more personal connection with my professors and my other classmates. I feel like I know most of the people in my department, but it's still big enough where I'm meeting new people each year. And I think it was just the perfect size, the perfect setting, and I love the location of Keene, so it was a really good setup. So I find that organization and scheduling is key. So I wasn't that great at time management in high school, and I think when I got to college, if I wanted to add all these things, I had to be a lot smarter about my time. So I prioritize what I need to get done, and then in the free time that I have, I try to make sure that it's also productive and making sure I'm taking care of myself. So I like to work out, exercise, things like that. Dr. Janelle Boyer, she does a virtual Zoom for yoga on Wednesday nights, so that's my favorite. And there's also a lot of really great resources on campus if I do feel like I'm getting overwhelmed or stressed. The Wellness Center is fantastic, both for physical and emotional health. For future Keene State students in general, I would say get involved as much as you can. Unless you reach out and look for things, you're not going to be able to get involved. You gotta, make the first step. And there's so many different organizations to be a part of. I found that my experience at Keene State has been greatly kind of accented by all the different organizations that I found. So I think definitely reach out, try new things, step outside of your comfort zone. There's something for everyone in that way. And then I think for public health majors, I would say not only join Public Health Club, but also connect with your professors. They're not just there to teach you your class. If you talk to them outside of class, there's so many different opportunities that they have and they want to share them with you. So make sure you're maintaining those relationships and those connections, and it will take you really far.